This heart of a lion, this soul of a titan. You won't break me, you won't break me. This force, you can't fight it. This thunder and lightning. You won't break me, you won't break me.
Welcome to the arrivals of leg 4 of the Volvo Ocean Race. We've already had Sun Hunkai Scallywag take the win, and then just after them, Dongfeng Race Team closed in on second place. But for those of you following the finishes this evening, you will know that Vestas 11th Hour Racing has been involved in a collision on the way to the finish. We have the following statement that was shared a little while ago. Vestas 11th Hour Racing, a team competing in the Volvo Ocean Race, has been involved in a collision with another vessel approximately 30 miles from the finish line of leg 4 in Hong Kong. Race control at Volvo Ocean Race headquarters was informed of the incident by the team at approximately 17:39 UTC on Friday, January the 19th. All of the crew on Vestas 11th Hour Racing is reported to be safe. There is limited damage to the boat, which the team is still assessing. The team has not requested outside assistance. There is no information at this time on the condition of the other vessel. Race Control has also contacted the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre to inform them of the incident. Race Control has also informed the rest of the fleet of the incident. Now, clearly, a serious situation for the team, and it's absolutely crucial as the race organisers that we provide you with facts and not speculation. When we have more to add to that statement, you'll find it on our website and our social media channels. In the meantime, we are going to be following the boats as they arrive in Hong Kong, and right now it is the turn of Team AkzoNobel. Now, Conrad Coleman is with me as always. Conrad, this is a team that throughout this entire Volvo Ocean Race has had a, shall we say, a less than perfect start. All those confusions about the skipper and the crew lineup, but certainly on this leg, approaching the doldrums, they were in absolutely great form. Now a podium finish, not in the circumstances that they would wish for, of course, but it's a good performance nonetheless.
I think it's an incredible performance, and really for the fans of this team, the first real opportunity that we've been able to see of the potential that we can see for them for the coming legs in this race. The skipper, Simeon Tianpon, surrounded himself with incredibly talented sailors, very, very emphatically stating the fact that he wanted to be a competitive force in this race. He hasn't been able to implement that out on the water thus far. However, this is the first real chance that we've seen of their potential, and frankly, I'm excited to see what is waiting in store for the rest of them.
We're seeing images now from the stern camera, the live images from the finish line in Hong Kong on board Team AkzoNobel. As the crew just peer underneath the boom, they are looking for one thing and one thing only, the other end of the start line. Just judging that moment, it did almost look like to me like the bow just started to dip down. That's a characteristic moment of just trying to sail the most efficient last final dip across the finish line. But right at that moment, the breeze seems to have gone light as well. So just enough breeze to keep them moving at the moment. Before we came on air, indeed, Team AkzoNobel were reaching into this line at about 10 knots. As you can see from those images now, the main struggling to remain filled. The crew just looking over the windward shoulder now, trying to work out when the next puff will be. We are expecting Team AkzoNobel to cross the line within the next few moments. And just with a small pause in the transmission as it catches up with itself, still a little bit of pointing and a little bit of looking around, trying to judge where the breeze is and indeed where the other end of the finish line is. At the moment, by my calculations, it says they've still got a little way to go, but Conrad, we're just looking for the little buoy to come into view here.
Well, we've been on air sort of come and go for a couple of hours now, so certainly from the sort of boisterous arrival of Sun Hunkai Scallywag a few hours ago. That was at night, and so a very, very different picture because you had the intensely lit up cityscape of Hong Kong masking the frustratingly small flashing light on the end of the line. We can see then they're going for a final, well, what I hope is a final jibe in towards the line. Now, this can, most notably, this team got into trouble in the last leg. In the middle of a jibe, down by the ice gate. They fluffed the jibe, and as the main whipped from one side to the other, it ripped the mast track literally bodily off the back of the mast. No such problems this time round, although low-speed jibes like this can be intensely frustrating and challenging as well. You need to furl up the sail because there's no pressure there to float it from one side of the boat to the other. And you can see this is the thing that I was talking about in the last arrivals, the mainsail inverted. The mainsail inverted and not actually providing any thrust at all. So what they're going to have to do is wait for a wave to try and send a shockwave back up the mainsail, flip it over, or indeed we may see in the coming moments the crew yanking on the boom themselves to try and pop the sail through in order to accelerate again.
Well, it certainly is inverting. It certainly is slowing them down as well. They were sailing with fantastic speed all the way in here, ground to halt, just off the line. The camera operator at the moment seems to think that the line is this red mark at the moment. Certainly they'll know more than us. They are down there right now. But by my eye, I was expecting the line to be a little bit further off to the left. I think they've got a little bit longer to go, but now we can see, as we go on board with the live images, the breeze and the puff. So momentarily sailing into a little bit of a bubble, but the sails setting, filling, and the full unfurl on the masthead code 0 being pulled into effect. Now Team AkzoNobel starting to get a little bit of way again. This is going to see Team AkzoNobel cross the finish line and conclude leg 4 in 3rd place. It's a podium finish for Simeon Team Point and his team, not in the circumstances that anybody would wish for. However, you cannot deny that this team has certainly started to gel and the performance is starting to bubble up to the top. Struggled in some stages, but on this leg in particular, Conrad, especially in the doldrums in my mind, they had a clear plan, they stuck to it.
Well, I mean, even beforehand, I found them to be really impressive just off the southeast corner of Australia. They went offshore with a big aggressive move, so a lot of authority there from navigator Jules Salter, who really declared the team's intentions. They went there offshore with Dongfeng race team and matched them. That was the thing that was really exciting for me, is that they stuck with the red boat that has been so dominant in the race thus far. And then, as you say, all the way through the Coral Sea, stayed with them, meters apart, if not miles, and then all the way up to the doldrums as well. So they're really impressive.
Really impressive. And of course, as they come across the finish line here, one story that I know that everybody following the racing here and certainly following the finishes that we've seen at the end of leg 4 is very aware of is the trouble that we've seen with Vestas 11th Hour Racing. They have been involved in a collision on the way to the finish. For those of you that had missed the statement that has been put out by the Volvo Ocean Race, here it is one more time. They were competing in this leg in the Volvo Ocean Race, and they were involved in a collision with another vessel approximately 30 miles from the finish line in Hong Kong. A race control at the Volvo Ocean Race headquarters here in Alicante was informed of the incident by the team at approximately 17:39 UTC. All of the crew on Vestas 11th Hour Racing is reported to be safe. There is limited damage to the boat, which the team is still assessing. The team has not required outside assistance. There is no information at this time on the condition of the other vessel. And Race Control has contacted the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre to inform them of the incident and contacted and informed the rest of the fleet. We will have more information for you when it becomes available. And once again, I know that everybody here really wants to be up to the minute with what's happening with Vestas 11th Hour Racing, but clearly a serious situation for the team, and it's absolutely critical for all of us here with the Volvo Ocean Race and bringing you the information that, as representing the race organisers, we provide you with the facts and not just speculation. When we have more information, you will be able to find it on our website and on our social media channels. We will be coming on and off air as all the information rolls in and as the arrivals tick by. Vestas 11th Hour Racing retired from this race, but making progress into the race village in Melbourne. Behind them, Mafre still racing, still pushing to the finish. Team Brunel as well, and Turn the Tide on Plastic. So more to bring you as the hours roll by. Stay with us, and we'll see you again soon.
You won't break me, you won't break me. This heart of a lion, this soul of a titan. You won't break me, you won't break me. This force, you can't fight it. This thunder and lightning. You won't break me, you won't break me.
It's arrival time in Melbourne. Leg 4 draws to a close. Sun Hunkai Scallywag already taking the wing. Dongfeng race team in second place. And Hong Kong is the venue for the finish of leg 4, with AkzoNobel now coming into the dock. It's been a difficult leg for Simeon Team Point, and just before the finish, diverted to lend any assistance that was required with Vestas 11th Hour Racing after the collision with another vessel. However, Simeon, duty done, now concludes racing and gets into the dock for a well-deserved reunition with his friends, family, and all the supporters down on the dock. And in daylight as well, Conrad, you know, a welcome really for a lot of these teams now. They have the whole day ahead of them. Get some food, get some well-deserved rest.
Well, certainly, and it's a bit of a disappointment perhaps for them. The spectacle of arriving in Hong Kong during the day is certainly not as dramatic as the one that we enjoyed just a few hours ago. It's 1:50 our time in the morning, and it sort of feels like we've been here for a long time already. But it's just so impressive watching these Volvo 65s come into Hong Kong with the mega backdrop here of the metropolis after 17, 18 days at sea.
And the race village has now been open for a good few days. The atmosphere has been building. The first boat to come in, Sun Hunkai Scallywag, I'm not going to say soaked up and stole the atmosphere, stoked the atmosphere. There's a really nice buzz going on in the race village at the moment, rewarding all the teams for the hard work and all the endeavours out on the ocean. It is now the turn of Team AkzoNobel to come onto the dock, and I'm just seeing Roscoe Monson on the pontoon there, the performance analyst and navigator from. He came on board the show and led us into a couple of the insights about what's going on. And in just a few moments, we're hoping to hear from the crew themselves. It's been full of dramas this leg, not least for Team AkzoNobel. But as we were saying before, when we watched them cross the finish line, at the start of this leg, they really struggled. I mean, they were last out of the heads in Melbourne by some way, but then they really managed to plough their way through quite comfortably.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they've really got to grips with this boat. Remember, this was a new boat built for this leg. For this race, they didn't take over one of the existing editions of the Volvo 65. Simeon Team Point most notably looking for a performance edge by getting a new boat that's stiffer, harder, more rigid, better able to transfer the energy of the sails into forward thrust. Maybe there was a new boat coming to bear. Maybe that's just the team sort of warming up and learning how to extract the best potential from it. Well, we won't know, certainly until we actually get to talk to Simeon Team Point. But you say it's been a tough leg. For sure it's been a tough leg because they went through the doldrums, they got their brains baked inside their skulls. If they managed to make it through this leg with any hair still attached to their heads, they're more patient than I am. But they've made it here. Great result for the team. And it's nice to see Simeon there picking up his daughter, and finally, that is the prize worth more than a podium. It's being back in the embrace of family and loved ones.
Well, I've got to say, at the moment, I'm just fixated on his beard. That's got to be one of the best beards I think we've seen, certainly so far in this edition of the Volvo Ocean Race. I can't remember him sporting such a fantastic beard at the end of the Southern Ocean leg. But a podium finish for Team AkzoNobel, obviously the circumstances that brought it about in that final little push, not ones that Simeon Team Point will be relishing in of course. But for me, it doesn't really distract from the performance of the team. They're certainly proving themselves as very fast. I mean, and leg one, with crew members down, light on numbers, they were still quick.
They were still quick, and you know they pulled a blinder on that leg. You know, we didn't even know who the skipper was going to be on race day back in leg one, and so to see them right up there with Vestas again was really impressive. But here, I think this is more of a sustainable level of performance that they've gone through some challenges on leg three. They were crippled. Not being able to use their mainsail effectively after damaging it. Now they're back, they're fast, and I think that we can expect that in the future.
Oh, we certainly can. And let's hear from the sailors themselves down on the dockside.
Yeah, I mean, even if we would have come in fourth here, because I didn't wish this to happen to Vestas. It's a bit of a shame, but I think, yeah, we were very happy with the leg. You know, we pushed hard and we fought it in the front. And I mean, congratulations to Scallywag. That was a hard one to defend on our side. I mean, they came back from almost 100 miles back, and yeah, it was, for us it was a great boost for the last 18 days just to be fighting with the good guys and even to leave one of the top favorite teams not from behind us. So yeah, it's been good.
So you come into Hong Kong, of course, the first time you lost
I'll give you a hand.
racing for you guys as well. Now, it must be quite a relief to give a little bit of rest period because you haven't actually, as a team, had that really since Cape Town. Looking forward to the rest of the race, there's quite a bit of work to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we finished here, I said to the guys, I have such a huge appreciation for everyone on board. You know, it's been almost 40 days at sea in a row, and we were still enjoying each other in the end, which is still a compliment to everyone. You know, yeah, the leg from Cape Town to Melbourne was tough, and we had a very short stopover there, and a lot of work had to be done, and we did it, and still we raced this leg and we gave everything we had, and I mean that's just a huge compliment to everyone on board and the team, and yeah, and in the end it's great that you end up on the podium. And yeah, I feel proud at the team and at boys and girls on board. And, yeah, it's been looking forward now to the rest of the race.
And a very happy birthday to you, buddy. How are you going to be celebrating?
Yeah, probably with her today and this afternoon, and I think it's my shout this afternoon for all the boys in the bar.
Absolutely, and the girls, don't forget about them. Talking about girls, I'm going to jump in straight away and grab Cecile. Cecile, look it.
I need to change battery, mate.
Cecile, I need to grab you.
Am I off? Okay. Dutchie? Yep.
Hi, mate.
Okay, we're good.
Good. Yeah. All good. Yeah.
Congratulations, my friend. It's so nice to see you too. Now listen, ever since the first moment that I met you many years ago, your dream was to be here on board a Volvo Ocean 65 in the Volvo Ocean race. Now, I'm interested. Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was full on, push all the time, 20 days at sea. It's the longest time I spent at sea actually. And the team is amazing, really cool bunch of people. Really enjoyed it, and awesome racing, so super happy.
Oh my goodness, so you're fully hooked.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, you jumped onto this team for the first time. Now, how is it to be able to gel into a team for the first time?
That was my main goal, was to fit in as well as I possibly can. The team's been together for a long time. You don't want to be disturbing their flow, and just fit in and get on with the job and work your ass off, and hopefully do that.
Well, congratulations to you, and congratulations to the team. It's fantastic to see you in Hong Kong. Well done to all Team AkzoNobel. I'm going to hand over to the media for a little.
Well, there we go. Fantastic scenes on the dock in Hong Kong at the conclusion of leg 4 for Team AkzoNobel. Simeon Chinpoint, family with daughter in one hand, beer in the other, and a fantastic beard on his chin. And that just goes to show how long this leg has been. It hasn't been the extremes of the Southern Ocean. It hasn't been the harshest winds and the toughest waves, but it has been extreme conditions. The heat and the light wind, the doldrums, was fierce this time around.
Absolutely brutal. It's just so spectacular. The drone images that we were getting back from the fleet as the drones were doing laps all the way around these boats that were just drifting on an oily sea. As a sailor, that just drives despair into my soul. I know how hard that is, and they've had a really tough leg with so many transitions and so many variable conditions. Finally making it here is going to be an incredible relief.
An incredible relief to an absolutely incredible leg. And we've got more arrivals to bring you. Mafre coming in behind Team AkzoNobel, along with Turn the Tide on Plastic and Team Brunel. If you've been following all the finishes here at the conclusion of leg 4, really the main story has been Vestas 11th Hour Racing and the collision that they've had on the way to the finish. Now, the statement that the Volvo Ocean Race has put out, the current information is that Vestas 11th Hour Racing, competing in the Volvo Ocean Race, have been involved in a collision with another vessel approximately 30 miles from the finish line. This happened, or at least race control was informed at 17:39 UTC today. All of the crew on Vestas 11th Hour Racing is reported to be safe. There is limited damage to the boat, which the team is still assessing. The team has not required outside assistance. There is no information at this time on the condition of the other vessel. Now, race control has contacted the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre to inform them of the incident. They've informed the fleet as well. And of course, with a situation like this and the race as big as the Volvo Ocean Race, we know that so many people are living by the minute waiting for that final update. Clearly, this is a serious situation for the team, and it's absolutely critical as the race organisers that we provide you with facts, not speculation. When we have more to add to the statement, you will find it on our website and on our social media channels. We are going to be back with the next arrivals as the teams come into the finish line in Hong Kong, but we're going to leave you with an incredible leg 4 through the eyes of Team AkzoNobel.
The ambition was to win this leg and not to become last, but at the same time, it does happen to your team, and there's going to be a chapter written about you and about a failure and a breakage on board. And then to see how many people still supported you through it. We're giving each other a little bit of heat, but yeah.
It's just not where you want to be straight off the bat.
It's just frustrating that every start we've had, leg start, we've either had a bad start or we've gone the wrong way. We've had a bit of bad luck and ended up in last place, pretty close to last.
Feels like being a Master and Commander movie where we're chasing the French boat.
They were